As an actor in 2024, you need a decent self-tape setup. Welcome to Director Discovery. I'm Nicholas Clanley. Let's talk about it. So it's 2024 now, and there are still a lot of self-tapes going on, and I completely understand because it's a lot more efficient for both the casting director as well as for the actor. It's actually pretty beneficial because you don't have to drive so far just to go in to see the casting director at that certain time. It gives you more flexibility. A lot of us are actually having another job on the side, so you can do this at night or whenever you're available, which I completely understand. But a lot of people still have trouble lighting themselves in like their in-house studio kind of thing. In this video, I'm going to teach you the best way to light yourself in a very confined space and the cheapest way possible. So first and foremost, I'm going to start off with just using my camera. This is the iPhone 12 Pro, and you can obviously use any other camera. It doesn't have to be either this good or could be a lot worse or even better. But I'm going to just start off with this because it's just what everyone has. So besides a phone, you have to make sure you have a stand for the phone, or at least something to lean on that is pretty much your eye level. For me, I don't really have that, so I have a smartphone stand. And I'm going to be putting this on like a chair because I need it to be high enough. Usually I have a tripod. So before I continue, I noticed while editing that all the samples I'm going to be showing you, I've been using the front camera of my phone. So make sure you use the back camera for even higher quality. But at the same time, this shows you that even with just the front camera, which is, I think it's only shooting at 1080p, it shows that it's just with good lighting, you have actually a pretty decent video. Anyway, let's continue. So this is how I sound and how I look like with the house light on and without a mic. It actually doesn't look that nice or sound that good, so let's make it a lot more pleasing with a very low cost. So the first thing I'd get is actually one of these. These are super cheap soft boxes, and it actually comes with a light. And this one actually is a very old one. So I actually have two of these like old school lights, and it's actually pretty bad. The ones that you can get right now actually comes with an LED bulb, and that one is like $59 Canadian, which is like $45 US. So that's actually a really cheap way to do this. First and foremost, you guys actually have to turn off all the lights. Yeah, so you start off by turning off all the lights, and then you place this light at a 45-degree angle. And if you look at this is actually already looks decent enough. I think I could just do a self-tape just from this, and if you want it to not have so much shadow on one side, you can actually just move it just a bit closer to the camera. Not even have to be 45, and then look, it's even more pleasing, and I think this will actually work out great. But at the same time right now, my audio still sounds pretty bad, and I'll show you what you guys should do. So in earlier videos, I actually recommended to get this lav mic. This is the Purple Panda lavalier mic, and it's super cheap. It's only like $30, and you can get a good lavalier mic that connects straight to your smartphone. You don't hear a lot more echoes like how it was before, and I think this is really representable of how a good self-tape would look like. And with a mic, I'm just clipped it on here, but you can also like tape it onto your body or your chest or a shirt inside, and this would all work. I think this would actually get you jobs, and it's actually a really good setup. And I think that with this only cost a total of like $100 Canadian. That's not even $100 US. So I think just to start off, this is great. And I'm only 4.5 feet away from my camera, from the wall to the camera, I meant. And if you have the space and you want to go further back, there's this huge extension cord for this mic. So this is actually really good. You can go as far as you want pretty much. And this works really well. So let's go to a second setup, and I'll show you what else there is to do. So another setup is using tube lights. This one is actually from Amaran. So this is actually kind of expensive, like $300 Canadian. There are cheaper ones from Ulanzi where you can actually search them up on Amazon. Just search up tube lights, and they are actually selling for like $40 to $50 Canadian. And that's actually a relatively easier way and cheaper way to light yourself as well. So for that setup, it's more for if you have very little real estate, but you have cupboards behind you. So that's exactly what one of my friends' setup is like.
but he doesn't use tube lights, which I keep telling him to change up his lighting, but he doesn't care. But anyway, so I'll show you the example right now. So this is actually the other lighting setup. I think actually it looks really good. I am actually only 2.5 feet away from the wall to the camera. So I'm just sitting right now in between. I'm sitting because I actually don't have a space where I could actually put up the tube light. So the light right now is actually only at 50%. It's already really bright. I'm accounting for the light that you're getting that's cheaper might not be as bright. And the longer the tube light, the softer it'll go around your face. But right now, because this tube light is pretty long, it actually looks pretty good. So the shorter one is maybe not as good, but it still works perfectly fine. And I'm still using the exact same setup, using my phone and using this mic, but this looks really good. It wraps around you and guarantee this will land you some jobs. Lightsaber. So another way to light yourself is using this. This is a panel light, but it's like very small panel light, and these are super bright, but they do heat up. These are around $50 Canadian from Small Rig, actually. It's a good brand, but this one's from China, so it's even cheaper. And this, I'm going to be using this. There's a diffusion. It's actually from a reflector, but I actually took off the reflector, so I'm just using the diffusion part. And yeah, let's light it up. So this is actually another way to light yourself, but as you guys can see, there's more of a shadow because this actually takes up more real estate. I am still pretty much at the same distance, probably like 3 feet away now from the wall to the camera, and I'm just right in the middle. And the thing is, you need the diffusion panel to be further from the light so that there is actually less shadow. And to fix that, the only way to do is to actually move the light back or just move the diffusion panel even closer to yourself. That takes up quite a lot more real estate, which is something I actually don't really like because of this. Because if you don't have another light to calm this down, then yeah, you just have a lot of shadow, and it's actually not that great, but it's cheap because the reflector is only like $30 Canadian. So this setup would probably be like $80 or so. You can like put this on a cupboard as well, the small light, and have a diffusion panel on a chair, which I am using right now because I'm sitting down. Like I said, I don't have any cupboards to show you guys, but this is another way to light yourself. So last but not least, I'm going to show you guys how I usually set up my own self-tape setups using an actual camera and a shotgun mic and just like another bigger and brighter light.
So this is how I usually do my self-tape setups now. A key light, my mic is right here, and also a hair light. This is obviously not necessary. I just have the equipment and it's just lying there, so I'm just like using it. So might as well not waste it. And it's actually been working pretty well for me. So as you guys can see, I'm using my Fujifilm X-H2 to film myself doing self-tapes because I tend to use this for photos as well. So this is way more portable than my other cameras, which I tend to leave them there for my YouTube setup. And I'm using the 23mm 1.4 lens. I think it's a great, nice wide shot that I can get of myself just talking, and I can pretty much see my whole body when I need to, when I have to move it all the way back. For a key light, my lighting setup, as you guys can see, I'm actually using an umbrella, not a regular softbox where a lot of people use that. I don't understand why actually not a lot of people use this, because I know the light spell is pretty much everywhere, but I actually do not mind that. I think it's actually better for self-tapes. You see less shadow, they see more of your face. I think it's actually look even nicer, and this is actually a cheaper option than having a softbox all the time. Maybe it's because of the dust or something, but I think this works really well for me. And you guys can see I'm still using this Godox SL60W, and it's a very old light, but it's just been like lying there on my floor, so I was like, why not take it to use? And it's actually been working really well. I don't have to move my YouTube light around all the time, and this setup is actually works wonders. And as for my rim light, you guys can see I'm using the Amran 60C. I also use this light for my ambient light, the red light that's coming out of it for my YouTube channel. So right now in this corner where it's at, it's actually good for both uses. And I think it's very convenient for me. I just turn it on because I have it there, and why not? It's just additional for me. When I turn off the key light, you guys can see the rim light. This is my rim light. As you guys can see, it's just a nice side light for my hair and just to separate me from the background a bit more. And last but not least is my mic, which I actually use even for my YouTube channel. And for my mic, I'm using the Rode VideoMic NTG, and this works really well because I can directly link it to my camera, and I have like a mic stand that I can use that's really cheap and nothing has broken, and I've been using this for a good few years now. So I hope that this video is able to help you improve your setup, and it just shows you guys that you actually don't have to spend a whole lot of money to make yourself sound a lot better and look more pleasing. I don't think the casting director is asking for like a professional setup. They never do. They just want to be able to be more presentable to the clients when they want to sell you. I think that's not asking too much, and it just shows that you don't have to spend that much money. So I hope you guys are able to land more jobs from this, and yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions or need any help. I'll be happy to answer, and yeah, hope this video is able to help. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.